Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to display lock screen widget in Flutter iOS. So this will be an iOS only tutorial for Flutter. So let's get started. So basically what I am doing is that I will display one label inside our app. That label will show whatever count is stored inside user defaults. So in case if you don't know what user defaults are, these are basically like shared preferences used to store key value data. Now the reason why I'm not using the shared preferences library is because I want to use this user defaults both from Flutter side as well as from native iOS side, because the widget code will be written entirely from native iOS side. We can't really write them inside Dart or Flutter code. That is the problem. I don't know if shared preferences internally use user defaults or not. Maybe they might be using it, but just to be on the safer side, I'm using user defaults. And whenever the button is clicked, I'm incrementing the count inside user defaults. Now you don't have to use user defaults. You can use anything whatever you feel like Swift data, core data, fetch the data from a network API, REST API. So yeah, it's up to you how you want to do it. So firstly, what I have done is that I have created a Flutter project. I have imported this Flutter services.dart. Okay, then here is our stateful widget. Here I have created this method channel. So this method channel with same name has to be created on native iOS side as well. Here I have created one variable, and we will be assigning some values to this particular variable as soon as we get it from native iOS side. So here you can see inside init state, which gets called as soon as our app is launched, we get the value from user default. So we have to write this particular method with a method with this particular name on native iOS side that will give us the data that I am assigning it to our data variable. Similarly, here I have one text button, and on click of it I am invoking this method. Every time this method is invoked, we are incrementing the count inside user defaults and returning the value back to Flutter side. And here we are just displaying that particular value as well. So pretty simple till here on the Flutter side. Next, what you will have to do is you will have to go to iOS, open the XE workspace inside Xcode. Let's wait for Xcode to open up. Okay, next you will have to open your app delegate over here, and first we will have to write those code. So here you can see I'm creating a Flutter view controller, then I'm creating a method channel called widget platform, and whenever we call this increment method, we are basically taking user defaults. Now if you have experience with native iOS, you might be thinking I can use user defaults standard. You can't use that over here because we want to share this user defaults on the widget side as well. If you use user defaults standard, the data won't be persisted, like you won't get same data. That's why we have to use this suit name. Now this suit name, what I typically do is I just write group dot whatever is your bundle identifier. So to get the bundle identifier, you can go to runner, select inside target, select your app, go to sign in and capabilities, and this is my bundle identifier. Just copy it and you can paste it over here. The key is stored number. Okay, and I'm getting whatever value is present inside here, and I just increment it by 1, and once we get that particular value, we just save it for this particular key and return the result back to Flutter side. Similarly, for getting the value, again I'm using the same suit name, we are using the same key, and whatever is the value present, we return it back to Flutter side. So that's it on the iOS part. Now coming back to the widget part, you will have to click on file, new, target, and here you will have to select iOS, search for widget. Inside widget extension, click next. Here you can give it whatever name you feel like. I will just give it as Flut app widget. Okay, and you can uncheck include live activity as well as include control and click on finish. Then you will have to click on this activate button. Okay, once that is done, just open over here just go to Flutter app widget. Now what exactly are we storing inside user defaults? We are storing a count, right? I will just remove this, I don't want this. So the entry point for your widget is this simple entry. So here you will have to add that particular thing. So I'm storing count of type int, that's why I've added it over here. Then simple entry is used over here, as well as over here, so we'll have to add that particular count as well. So I'll add that missing argument. Now from where we will get the value? We will get it from user default. So for that I will just create one helper method called get value. I will just call it for now. Later on I will just create it, write the actual implementation. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here as well. For this I don't want all this unnecessary code. Here it requires an array of simple entries, so I can do something like this. Okay, I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Now again this also require count, so I will just copy this particular part and I'll paste it over here as well. So this is done. Now I'll have to create this get value method. Okay, now I have already created this video for native iOS, so I will just go to that native iOS project and copy paste some code. Yeah, sorry about that, it's very difficult for me to remember all the code by myself. So I will just go over here, okay, and I'll copy this code and I'll paste it over here. Now again we'll have to replace the suit name with whatever suit name we have used inside app delegate. So this was our suit name. I'll just copy this, okay, and I'll paste it over here. Now here is our user defaults key, same key I have used it on app delegate as well. Now here for date you can just name it as now. If you want your widget to update after certain time, you can pass some time here as well. So I think what I'm passing something like this. I'm not sure whether this is 1 minute or 10 minutes. You can check this out. Sorry about that. So I'll just copy this particular time. So after this particular time the widget will be updated automatically. Now don't keep it as 1 minute or 2 minute, iOS won't allow that. So it's better I keep something like half an hour or 1 hour. Also over here I will just update this to runner, so once I run my application, my actual application is run and not my widget. Next again I'll just copy this here. If you scroll down here you will get error. This is only part of preview, so I can just comment this out as well. Then you will have to go to your runner again project, go to your runner, just click on plus capability, select app groups, and here you have to click on this plus button, and here you will have to paste something like this. I'll just click on OK. So group dot whatever is your bundle identifier. Now same thing, you will have to go to your extension, click on plus capability, select app group over here, and here again just wait for some time. It will automatically show you whatever app groups you have added. In case if it is not visible, then you can click on the plus button. So here you can see it has started showing it for me, and I'll just select the one which I have created just now, so this one. In case if you're not able to find it, you can just click on this plus button as well. Now we'll have to go to again to our Swift file, and we'll have to change this particular UI, because this particular UI is only for widgets which are for unlocked screen. We want to show it for locked screen as well, right? So firstly we'll have to add this particular environment variables dot supported families. Okay, so I'll just copy this and we'll have to add it over here. So this entire thing, so accessory inline, accessory circular, these are for lock screen widgets. Accessory rectangular is also for lock screen widgets, but I don't know, for some reason it is not displaying it for me. I don't know if this is a simulator bug or if I am doing anything incorrectly. Then this system medium, system large, system small, and system extra large, those are for when you unlock your device. Okay, so you can write UI based on this particular thing. So for that again I have written the code, so I'll just copy all this code. So I will just copy all this code and then I'll explain it to you. So basically we are using a switch case. So here you can see we are using this switch case. Okay, we also need to add this environment because so I'll just add this environment as well. So here we want to get this widget family, so whatever you have added it over here, we have to provide implementation for each and every one of this switch case. So that's what we are doing over here. So this, if it is accessory circular, you should use gauge. Now you can use any type of SwiftUI element, but the problem with lock screen widget is the widgets are extremely small in size. If you try to display a list of items, it won't work for you. iOS will not display it. You might face some other issues as well. That's why you will have to be careful what exactly use for lock screen widget. That's for if it is accessory circular, I am using this gauge now, and I am displaying this entry count, whatever is stored inside user defaults. Now this particular thing I have hard coded. What I was planning to do is I was planning to like use this entry count over here and then divided it by 10, but somehow that is not working. I'm not sure if it is a simulator issue or if I am doing something wrong. That's why I'm hard coding this value over here. Similarly for this particular case as well. So the style is same for accessory circular, and I think rectangular. Sorry, never mind. Then this is system medium. This is for displaying widgets whenever screen is completely unlocked. So I don't need this time. I can just display the value, and I have one button which will help us to increment the user defaults as well. We can't have a button inside once we have a lock screen. That's why I haven't included that. So we'll have to create. So if you see for system medium, system large, system small, the UI is pretty much the same. I'll just remove this time. I don't need this. Okay, and for system extra large also it is same, and for default also it is same. Okay, so I'll just do proper indentation. So hopefully you got the point till here. Okay, so this is the entire code which we have. Now we'll have to create this particular file called increment intent. So I will just go to our widget, right click, new empty file, and I will just name it as increment. Now the problem is for widget you can't directly add a click listener to your button. You have to use something called AppIntent. So again I'll just copy the code from my practice project and then I'll explain it to you. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. So here you can see this is our AppIntent. We are extending from AppIntent. We have to give it some title, we have to give it some key, and we have to override this perform method from our AppIntent, and it will automatically get called once you click on your button. So here we'll have to use the same suit name. So I'll just go over here and I will just copy this suit name and I will paste it over here. So here we get our current value from user defaults. We update the value by 1 and we just save it inside user defaults. Okay, so hopefully this all looks good to me. Let me just do you can try to run your application. Let me just do command B. You don't have to do it. Just want to check whether I forgot something or not. Try to build my application and I got this particular error. This is very common with Flutter when you try to do some widget stuff. Cycle inside runner, building could not produce unreliable. So you just have to go to runner, you will have to select your app inside target and then go to build phases, and here you will have to just move this embed framework above run script and also this embed foundation extension above run script, and then try to build your application, and hopefully it should work now. So here is my app running, and what I will do is I'll just click on this increment button. Here you can see the value is incrementing, so the now value is 4. What I can do is I can just long press on this. So this is for unlocked screen. I'm showing you first. I have already made video about this, many of you already know. I'll just click on add widget. You can you will have to enter your app name over here. So this is my app name, and here you can see there are multiple widgets available, so you can select any one of this. I'll just click on add widget, and this is our widget. If I increment the value from here, the value is incremented to 5. Now what I'll do is I will here you will see at the right hand side there is this lock button. I'll click on it. So our screen is now locked. Now what I'll do, I will just do command click on it, long press on it sometimes. So here you will see something like this. I'll click on this customize, I'll click on lock screen, and here you can see now I can click on this plus, not this plus, sorry, just remove this. I don't even know how to remove it. It is not getting removed. Okay, cancel. Okay, I pressed the wrong button. Let me try to yeah, so I'll just again click on command click, customize lock screen, and here you will have to click on this add widgets, and here is my app, Flutter app, and here you can see it is just showing me these two widgets, but here it is showing me the right value which is present inside our user defaults. Okay, and I will also click on this, so I'm just showing these two widgets. So, and I'll click on done. So yeah, just I'm not sure, I'll just click on this lock button again. So here you can see our two widgets are displayed on the lock screen. So I can just click on swipe to open. So this is our unlocked widget, and if I click on lock, here you can see these are our locked widgets. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.